Hello, everyone. Just like what? 10 days remain for the All-Star weekend to start with the very unique three-point shooting, the rookie match, the celeb match, and finally the big event, the East versus West. And
It's
like
back to
everyone,
East versus West.
after a long time,
Yes.
2 or 3 years
Five
gap.
years.
Oh, five
Five
years.
years.
Okay, five
Yeah.
years gap. But it still doesn't change the fact that the captains are still the same. LeBron James and Giannis. Man, guys, the
It's
other guys,
it's
you need to
Harry.
buck up.
It's funny that you conveniently took out the dunk contest because nobody gives a shit about the dunk contest.
Yeah. That it's
it's
good
it's
you took it
very
out.
it's very yeah it's very convenient you took it out
You
because no
know,
one
you,
Ironical.
who are the candidates. I don't know who are the candidates.
I
That
also
means
don't know. No,
that's how irrelevant it is.
no one is excited about the dunk contest. Everyone is also excited
It's
about the
gone.
3-point contest between Stephen Curry and our women's
Sabrina
NBA,
Ionescu.
Ionescu.
Sabrina.
Ionescu.
Okay, just to make it a fun, who's gonna win it according to you guys? Is it gonna be Stephen Curry, or Sabrina?
I thought you were going to ask whether it's going to be Steph Curry or Steph Curry. It's obviously
No, Steph or Stephanie.
it's going to be Steph. It's going to be Steph. Come on, guys. Are we doing this again? It has to be Steph. Come on.
It
And you
has to
can
be
watch
Steph, but
also.
I would love to see Sabrina like at least come close to, competing. And she
Yeah.
said that she would like to do it from the men's 3-point line. Earlier it was
Oh,
supposed to be the women's 3-point
women, yeah.
line and Steph shooting from the regular 3-point line. But I guess
You
both
know,
will shoot from the NBA 3-point line now. So that'll be
I
interesting.
I know a lot of people are following us for the past 1.5 months, or maybe 4 months. Like we were on the old channel, and they might
Yeah.
have known that there is a patented dialogue that I always say. I like content, so I would love Sabrina to win, and we get a lot of content.
So we can shit
No,
on
bro.
Steph.
This is. I mean, but then Sabrina winning will open an entirely new discourse, and we know what that discourse is.
It's
So,
fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, that'll be
I
interesting
think
though, right?
But I think the current setup of the league is not ready for that conversation. With all due respect to the league, they're just not ready for that conversation. So let's see. It should be a close contest. That is what I'm hoping. It should be interesting in the sense that there should be a difference of only one or two makes. It would be fun because she's gained a reputation as a sharpshooter in the women's NBA. So yeah, I'm hoping that's a good contest there. At least if that's better, if that generates better ratings than the dunk contest, then you might as well do this every year. You might as well
Yeah.
make it a yearly appearance. Do it every All Star game. That the
Right.
best 3-point shooter from the men's game faces off against the best 3-point shooter in the women's game. Makes a lot of it is fun.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. Let's come down to the main event. That's the East versus West game. That's going to happen on the 18th of February. And like everybody is seeing, and it's visible to everyone, the rosters are out. Let's start with West first. Guys,
Of course,
do
because there are
you,
two Western Conference team fans and one, so obviously I get overruled.
Delvin,
Yes.
cry
The
some more.
Leaston Conference.
Delvin, cry some more. Anyway, yeah, like the starters are Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant, Shea, LeBron, and Nikola Jokic.
That's just illegal, dude. That's just illegal.
But what
it's
the guy's gonna
Stupid. That
do?
lineup is so stupid, man.
it's illegal, bruh. It's just illegal.
I mean,
Adam,
I'm just good. Imagining, LeBron James giving that pick and roll, doing that pick and roll with Nikola Jokic, and I feel like he's just throwing it
even
up. Giannis,
Shea for that matter doing the pick and
right,
roll with Jokic.
right,
Come on, Shea is a savant. You have four savant level passers in the Western Conference starters with Doncic, with
Yeah.
Shea, with LeBron, with Jokic,
Jokic.
and then you have someone who's as automatic a shooter as KD. I mean, it is just illegal. And then, if that's not enough, if that is not enough, you have Steph Curry, you have
Off the
Paul
bench.
George, you have Paul George, you have Kawhi fucking Leonard
Kawhi
coming
Leonard
off the
off the
bench.
bench.
You have Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards, and Carl Anthony Towns.
To complete the lot.
Yeah.
So, let's end the
Alexa.
podcast here. Let's end the stream here. We are done. West are
Okay.
winning by 30.
Okay, Western winning. That's it. That's it. Tata, bye bye. The
Ale-
shortest record we had ever had till date.
Alexa play Lorde Lag Gaye for the Eastern Conference.
You know that Desi company page. I told that on the group. You know, it's Delvin's page and he doesn't accept it. That Desi company on Instagram page. That's Delvin's page for
It's-
sure. It's Delvin's page for
So
sure.
this
I cannot
entire
do that.
Western roster is illegal. This entire Western roster is illegal. Just look at the talent out of that. Like, you have almost 8 or 9 out of 12 who are averaging above 25 points in the league.
Right.
Yeah.
8?
So
Bro, 10. Might
I'm
be
just
10.
I'm
It's
just giving an estimate. At least 8 out of 12 are definitely averaging above 25.
I guess it's only Anthony Davis who is, averaging less than 25 and might be Cat. Everybody
Yeah.
else is gonna be above 25.
Looks like.
It's
I
like
think PG might be. I think PG might be under
PG is
25,
like
but I'm not
different,
really
yeah.
sure. Yeah, just
yeah,
a,
we
just a
know
shade
it's-
under.
Yeah, if you can estimate, it's about like at least 8 to 9 for sure. Or more.
And
Yeah.
that's what Delvin said, 8 are supposed to be there above 20.
8 for sure. Yeah, 8 of them
Yeah.
for sure.
And guess what? We have the youngest player also in that team, LeBron James.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
21 years of age. You're 21.
20th All-Star game.
Right.
And
I mean,
you actually have 3 of the oldest active players. No, 3 of the oldest active All Stars. I mean, Chris
All-Stars,
Paul is
yeah.
one of them, but he's not
Yeah,
there. So you have
the
Steph, you have KD, and you have LeBron in the same
in
roster.
the
So
same team. In the same team. It's
Yeah, in
gonna
the
be
same team.
insane. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane.
yeah, it's
Okay. Let's
So
move
now
on
that-
to okay.
Now
Okay.
that they've
Aniket.
made the one quick point. Now that they've made the West versus East, right? So now you won't have that captains choosing players. So that's why we are getting a very one-sided West. One-sided roster in terms of the West being so strong. Whereas earlier, maybe KD would have been
yeah,
in
it was
in the other
balanced.
side of the draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is an exact throwback back to when it was before, where the West always used to dominate the East in All Star games before, because of the sheer amount of talent that was there on the West. In the earlier years, you had the likes of Kobe, you had Shaq,
Yeah.
then they had T Mac in the
Chris
Houston
Paul.
Rockets, you had Chris Paul,
Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki,
Pau Gasol,
then you had Tony Parker,
Tony Parker,
Manu
Tim
Ginobili,
Duncan.
Tim Duncan. Yeah. All the dynasties.
And
to be
then-
honest. All the big
and
dynasties.
then
to be honest.
and then you look at the East, who you have? Raju Rondo, Paul Pierce.
Raju Rondo. Paul Pierce, wheelchair. Paul wheelchair Pierce.
Oh man.
Then you had this young LeBron. Okay, fair enough. You have young LeBron. You had a decent time with D Wade, Bosch. Yeah, but
Right.
then it was nowhere close to the quality that the
Yeah.
West had. And I think this is almost similar. But of course, there are a few names in the East. Like,
Yeah.
let's talk about the East a bit. Let's talk about the East a bit.
Before we talk about the roster, we need to talk about the coach of the Eastern Conference All-Star team, Mr. Doc
My goodness,
freaking Rivers.
answer me this. Man's played what? Man's been charged over 3-4 games in
4 games, 1 and 3.
yeah. Is that like? I thought it was going to be JB Bickerstaff or who's the Boston coach? Mazzulla, right? Yeah, I thought it was going to be either one of those, but then the doctor. They do understand that he is the Eastern Conference head coach and not the Milwaukee Bucks head coach, right? Because they must have got that confused.
Yeah, I did not understand because Boston have the best record in the NBA, right? So why does Doc Rivers get to coach?
I
Because
don't understand. I
because
don't
I'll answer this in Hindi so that we gain a little bit Hindi followers. We have a hell lot of English followers and foreigners from followers from the country. डॉक रिवर्स ने 6D चेस खेला, कोचिंग भी ले ली, वह अपना ईस्ट का भी कोच बन गया, but playoff में जाके हारेगा because उसको bottle ही करना आता है और कुछ करना नहीं आता, in that simple
It
language.
is in the history of Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
He's already started doing it. The games he's lost, he's blown 3 double-digit leads.
Huh?
He's right at home then.
He's just settling in. He's he's
Yeah,
in
so
he's getting into his playoff form.
this is
I want to see that Giannis's reaction again. He was standing like his hands near the waist and like, man, did I make a mistake by getting my previous
this
coach
was
sacked?
yeah, you could say nah, not really. I don't think it was working with Griffin, but then let's have that discussion for another time. Let's have a look at the East. And
Yes,
obviously the first thing that obviously will come to everyone's attention is that while Joel Embiid right now, as of now, is listed as an All-Star starter, we all know that he's going to be missing the All-Star game because he's just undergone surgery for his meniscus. So we'll talk about him and the replacement later. But there is enough talent, but then if you have a comparison of the reserves, you don't see Paulo Banchero standing toe to toe with any of the guys who's in the reserve.
not at all.
Bam can hold his own up to a certain level, but then when I think Donovan Mitchell is a good matchup when you compare him with Ant, because Don has been one of the best shooting guards in the league since the start of the season, and his numbers also speak for himself. And so I could say that Tyrese, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, nah, it's just
Why Julius? Why Julius? I still can't get. I mean, scratch my head around and think about why Julius.
yeah. I think
I
there are
think
quite a few weird snubs.
I think
mean,
it's because
let's
of the
talk about this.
Knicks doing so well this season. So
Still doesn't
and
gas. Julius Randle has been in the spotlight for the Knicks for all the wrong reasons.
Right.
Because of the simple fact that the offense has stagnated a lot whenever Randle's had the ball. So I don't understand why Randle is there in the squad for the first place. But then there were better options in the East, or even in the
Exactly.
West for that matter. I'm surprised that De'Aaron's been snubbed. Domantas Sabonis has been snubbed.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Sabonis is
but then
good.
who are you taking off the West? And if you want
Paul
De'Aaron
George
Fox and
and Cat.
Sabonis,
Paul
yeah,
George and
maybe
Cat.
Cat is a controversial choice. But apart from that, I think
You know,
everyone should be there, right?
if we remove Cat, we can bring in Rudy Gobert. He's still having one of the best defensive seasons. He's still putting up those defensive numbers. He's still having.
No, but the problem is
I
nobody wants to
know.
see Rudy Gobert in an All-Star game.
Yeah, that's
No
there.
offense to Rudy Gobert, but yeah.
Well,
he's that kind of a guy who will not be brought into conversation, but he keeps on doing his stuff very well. So that's why I
Yeah.
just feel,
I think it was about time also that he got his shit together, because Minnesota paid a hell lot for him. So
Right.
it was about time that he started performing as well. To the
Right.
East, I'm surprised Trae Young didn't get a call up. I thought
Yeah.
Trae should have. And he could have
Right.
easily replaced what? He could have easily replaced who? I could give you three. He could
Julius
replace
Randle.
Randall. He could replace Banchero as well.
Banchero, exactly.
He could.
Even Jalen
Yeah.
Brown.
So
That matter.
yeah. So that's three people who can easily replace.
Because
So
you're not going to replace Tyrese Maxey. He has been,
no,
one of
he's
the
been brilliant.
best.
He's
Yeah.
been
He has
brilliant.
been
Yeah.
one of the
He's been brilliant.
best players for 76ers,
Yeah.
with or without Joel Embiid. So he has been
Jalen
that
Brunson's been brilliant as well in his own way in the Knicks. Yeah.
Exactly. So
So yeah, I
shocking. But like you said, Delvin, the West, I still don't get it. No De'Aaron Fox, no Sabonis, no Rudy Gobert. No other player. So not a lot of options in East, but yeah, many options in West. We could go with that, because if we are going and looking at the previous few games, then even James Harden should be considered in the conversation, because he has
Yeah.
been very good for the Clippers. So
I think Chet also is unlucky to miss out.
yeah.
But then
But he's
again,
playing in
it's very difficult. That's a different thing. It's very difficult for rookies to get into the All-Star game anyways. But still,
Yeah.
like when you when you said that three of the oldest all stars are actually playing right now. So of course rookies have to wait for their chance,
I agree.
because
I
these
Yeah,
mean,
but
guys are
Chet
everyone
is
not
being
expected
promised.
LeBron to
Chet
fall
is
off,
yeah,
so rookies get a chance.
yeah
But LeBron is the
the
rookie
fact
year
that
himself.
the fact that Czech the fact that Chet has been making enough noise to be considered into All Star consideration is an achievement in itself.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
even Wembanyama for that fact, some of his games
but
are really amazing.
wouldn't his the Spurs have a woeful record for
Well, because
all of Wemby's good stuff that he's been doing. It's the record has been but yeah, I get the point in the sense that we've seen quite a few
it's
previous All Stars who've come out of under 500 teams. Lamelo being the
right.
biggest example.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah, I get what I get what you're going to, but yeah,
right,
but I think Spurs have won what 10 or 11 games or what,
right.
I'm not sure. So yeah, that's still way
Spurs
too low.
Around, yeah,
10, 10
10
and
games.
40
Yeah.
Yeah,
is their
so
record.
that's even if it would have been 15 or 16, was still understandable. But 10 is like just way too low for him to be
Yeah, yeah.
considered into All-Star
They are still
consideration.
above Pistons and Wizards, and might
Come
got
on,
Hornets.
you might you why are we talking about those two teams in All-Star? Come on, those two teams and All-Star discussion doesn't go hand in hand, bro. So don't even
Opposites,
try.
opposites attract.
Not in this case. Not in this case.
Okay. Let's talk about snubs properly, or you want to talk about something else? The
I could
biggest,
say Jared. I could I could
I
say
think we should
Jarrett
talk about
Allen was
Embiid not
snubbed as
playing, right?
well. I
No, no,
could say Jarrett
we'll
Allen
come to
counts
that.
as a snub too.
Okay, okay.
Jarrett Allen counts as a snub too.
Okay, okay. I'll reframe the question. Let's not talk about snub. I'll reframe the question. Joel Embiid is gonna miss. They'll need East will have to have another roster spot, and might happen. Anyone from the reserves might move into the starting as a starter. So Delvin, first, I guess you should go. Like you want Jarrett Allen to be there. So do you think
Yeah.
he's gonna start over there?
Now that we've spoken, I think as far as if we are talking from a like for like perspective, where
Right,
Embiid is a front court player.
right,
So if we are talking from that angle, then maybe I would love to have Jarrett Allen in. Now, whether it's a starter, whether it's a reserve, doesn't matter. Because Jarrett has done enough to deserve an All-Star shout out. I'll tell you why. Since the start of the year, uh, the Cavs have the possession of the best record in the league,
right.
13-2 in the 15-game
Okay,
streak. We're 14-1 since we lost the first game of 2024. So we are 14 and
right,
1.
right,
We've beaten some really good teams along the way. We've beaten the Bucks twice. We've beaten the Clippers. We've beaten the Sacramento Kings.
right,
And there are some other big teams that we've won. And Jared Allen himself has the possession of a club franchise record, 19 straight double doubles in 19
okay,
straight games. And you
okay,
can have a look at his stat line. He's been one of our best players. He's been one of our key players, and he's been playing through an injury himself, which just goes to
right.
show how much of a key player he is in the rotation. So I genuinely believe that Jarrett should be in the All Star game.
I don't think so. There are a lot of more players who could be there. Aniket, what would you say? What would you say?
Yeah, I think Jared is obviously a good shout. I mean, Delvin has obviously brought out all the qualities which has made the Cavs the team to beat so far this 2024. I mean, early in 2024. But I mean, we have other players also. Like obviously, you mentioned Trey Young. So if we are specifically just speaking about replacements and not like for like replacements, so you have Trey Young, you have
Right.
like Siakam was also a name. We can slot in there. Maybe not the favorite, but he's
You have
also a name we can
DeRozan.
slot in
You have
there.
DeRozan.
But I
You
have
have
an
DeRozan.
interesting name in Kristaps Porzingis, the forgotten man.
Oh,
I think he's
oh,
had a
right,
brilliant
right, right,
season.
right.
Everyone wrote him off, during his Wizards tenure. But he's come to Boston. He's created an immediate impact. He's been that kind
Right,
of a presence which the Celtics have lacked over the last few years in
right,
terms of outside shooting, consistent outside shooting, as well as blocking shots and stuff, and being on the floor at all times.
right.
So,
That
so
was a
I would
nice
say
one. That was a
Porzingis
nice one.
is
Yes,
yeah.
that was
Porzingis
a
seems
nice
to be a
I
good
choice.
shout
mean,
as well.
good shout, but what are his numbers?
I mean, he's about 20 points per
If we
game,
can, no,
and
if we can have a look, I'm not putting
yeah,
it as a slight on Kristaps. I just want to know, genuinely want to know what his numbers are.
it's about
Okay.
20 points per game and 36% from three and 1.8 blocks per game. I mean, obviously, he's not going to get the most shots in a team which has Brown and Tatum, but for what he's been asked to do, he's definitely provided more than, what the Celtics could obviously expect from him in terms of being the anchor in the paint as well as the outside shooting and stuff.
Fair enough, but then I think
And the number one
you
seed.
we also speak about recency bias, when like recency bias is always a point of discussion, whether or not it's in a right way or a wrong way, whatever it is. But then if you're talking about recency bias, then recency we have to look at the Cavs recent record.
Yeah.
Have to.
It's too much. It's too much
I,
of green on the screen. Get it out. Too much of green.
yeah,
Get it
it's too
out.
much of green. Yeah, man.
Get it out.
Come on.
Thing is, Delwell has gone
Also,
full to bias towards Cavs. He's gone
yeah.
with every
Also,
Cavs player in the
I
roster.
yes. Also, I cannot have someone in the All Star game who's been called Tingus Pingus. Come on, guys. Come on. So, come on.
That, yeah,
That's a travesty to have.
funny Knicks days.
Man.
Knicks fans are different, man. Seriously.
You can't have someone who was called Tingus Pingus in the All Star game. So, yeah, that's my defense for Kristaps.
Man, if he's watching this, the recording, we are sorry, but we had to make a joke. We can't help it.
Yep.
I'm sorry. This is the Cavs star inside me talking. Sorry, Kristaps.
Correct. If it was Delvin's way, then we could have had Isaac Okoro also in the team.
Oh yeah.
No. I mean, he's a good shout for sixth man. He's one of the contenders. He's one of the contenders for sixth man but there are better options out there in sixth man of the year.
Yeah.
So I'm saying he's a shout because he's been doing well, and I think Donovan Mitchell has been very open in endorsing a lot of players from the Cavs. So make of that what you will. I mean, make of that what you will. So
just like Delvin, just like Delvin. Anyway,
of course I will. We are winning. We are winning. Of course I will. You wouldn't hear me. You wouldn't hear me fly. You wouldn't see me flying so much if you were on a losing streak. I'm just letting y'all know.
If we have to see a like-for-like replacement for Joel Embiid in the starting spot, why not we move Bam Adebayo to the starting spot?
Yeah,
that is the only logical move. If we are looking from the roster to move someone into the starter's position, then there are only two options out there in front court with Bam and Julius. Bam obviously is the much better option because I am no way in hell getting Julius Randle in the starting five. Fuck no.
Okay, let's move to West. We have talked a lot about Joel Embiid and all that stuff. We'll get to know in a day or two who's gonna take his spot on the roster and also as a starter. But let's move to West, and let's start with De'Aaron Fox. If De'Aaron Fox has to get into this team, which is the player you guys would want to move out?
I think I'd move Devin Booker because Sac have the 5 seed and Phoenix are 6 seed?
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously Sac have the better record, and De'Aaron is one of the key reasons why Sac are in possession of that record. So obviously, if you're talking about records, Aniket put in a very valid point when he was putting in Kristaps' case with Boston having the best record in the NBA, not only in the East.
Yeah.
Right.
So that automatically makes Kristaps a good shout, which is fair enough. So if we're talking in that metric, then obviously Fox deserves the nod above Devin Booker because of the better head-to-head, because of the better overall record as well. So yeah. And I think if we have a comparison of the numbers between both, I think De'Aaron edges Devin Booker, or I'm not sure. It could be very close, but I think De'Aaron has the better numbers at this point. Yeah, very close. Yeah.
Like De'Aaron,
and De'Aaron has played more games also there compared to Booker.
Yeah.
I think
unfortunately, those rules don't count for All-Star selections, right? It's only for MVP selections.
Right.
So automatically now that means that means Joel is out for the MVP conversation because of this rule.
Right.
Yes,
Because
he is,
he's done.
He's out.
So, so Joel's not getting MVP this year.
Yeah.
Right.
What a
So
relief!
it's gonna
Thank
be
God.
between again Nikola Jokic and who?
And
21
Nikola,
year old
Giannis,
Jokic.
Kawhi
LeBron.
Leonard is a wild card. I'm telling you, watch out for the guy.
He's still even he's on a
Who?
very tight
Kawhi
rope.
has played like almost every game this season. He's only missed
Who?
No.
like 4 or 5
I
games.
wasn't
Yeah,
able
he's
to
only
hear.
missed 4 or 5 games this season.
I wasn't
Are
able
you
to
sure
hear.
about
Who is
that?
the guy you're talking about?
Kawhi.
Kawhi.
Oh, Kawhi. Ah, he might be.
Yeah. And Clippers are
I-
like 3 seed in the West.
Clippers are 2 seed.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, they're
Yeah,
very
2
close to the
seed.
1
Two.
seed though. They're a game away
Yeah.
from the 1 seed.
Who's
Half a-
one
half a-
currently? Is it?
Okay,
Thunder
is
is
it
one,
Timberwolves?
second is Timberwolves.
Oh, Thunder.
Timberwolves is two. Both are
Third
actually, I mean, one or two have same, what do we say, win and loss
Records.
records, and Clippers are half game behind them, and same with the Nuggets. They are a half game
So
behind.
I think OKC must be on top because they top their division.
Right. Might be.
So
Yeah,
might be.
because then
I
there's
think
no other
MVP
way
is
to.
separate conversation. I feel we have a few candidates
Yeah,
which
yeah,
we can discuss
Yeah,
about.
yeah. Okay, Sabonis. If Sabonis has to get in, which is the player has to
If
go out?
Sabonis has to get in,
It's the
it has
only-
to be-
Carl Anthony Towns.
yeah.
Yeah, Anthony Towns.
Wow.
But the reason Cat is there because Minnesota is 1 seed, or they were 1 seed throughout the season so far.
They are still.
And then once again, the overall record comes into the picture with
Yeah.
with Timberwolves obviously having the
If the
better
num-
record than the
If
Kings.
the numbers are close, generally they'll kind of see the records. But maybe in Fox's case and Booker's case, I think Booker got more of the media votes, so that's why he's in compared to Fox.
Right.
Yeah, that could be another reason.
What do you guys think about Brandon Ingram?
Ooh, good shout, but I don't see him getting into this. Don't see
Paul
him
George?
getting into this.
In place of Paul George?
No, Paul George has been brilliant. Let's for all the shit that we put out on Clippers, let's just be real. PG has been great this season. Has good numbers. He's been the driving force when Y was out. When Harden was just about finding his feet, and when Russ was doing Russ in the wrong way. So Paul George was the only consistent outball who was doing good. So yeah, I think he deserves a spot there.
Okay. So I guess we are done, and I guess no other from the West actually deserves to be in
No, not
this
really, no.
star Latin, roster, because no one gets
Yeah.
a chance to go into it.
Otherwise,
If we
there's
are
so many
talking,
names that could actually be in the West
right,
roster
right.
that are not there.
Right. There can be a all-star game between the West, this team versus the West, which have been snubbed, and even
Yeah.
that game is going to be close. No, it's not going to be a one-sided affair. It's going to be close, much closer than what we are going to expect between West and East this time. But
Because these are the only players that are there in the East who are good. That's it.
even in that, we don't want Julius Randle over there. So
Yeah,
that's the
so-
thing that's happening.
I'll prefer
So who else?
I'll prefer like Jordan Poole or Kyle Kuzma or Randall.
What?
No, not that bad, dude. Not that bad. Come on.
Kyle Kuzma, my boy. Kuz.
You
No,
might
man.
as well. You might as well go ahead and say you'd prefer Kate Cunningham over Julius Randle, Aniket. Come on, that's comparing Washington players with Julius Randle is a bit of a stretch.
कुछ भी मतलब. But if you would
Arey,
have
I'm
said
just
Alex
saying in terms
Caruso,
of
if you would have
who
said
I
Alex
prefer.
Caruso, if you would have said Alex Caruso, I would have think for a second. Oh right,
Yeah,
this
obviously.
guy is on the right track.
If you would have said Isaac Okoro also, I would have still considered Kuzma and Jordan Poole,
The bias has risen again.
or who's the other? I'm not getting. DeMar DeRozan would have been a good shout over Julius Randle also.
Even Vucevic must have been.
Maybe.
better
So
choice.
Chicago's record is like they're under 500 right now. So
Right.
that's
They
again a
have.
problem.
They are dot 500.
No, they are 23-27, bro. How it is
Yeah,
not 500?
that's what.
They were
Okay,
not
so-
500. They were.
Yeah,
not
they
500.
were. As far Yeah, as per the last power rankings, they were 0.500. They've lost a lot. They've lost games after that. Yeah, I did not get that. I did not see that. Yeah,
And suddenly the Lakers have won three on the trot out of nowhere, and I'm like, wow, wow, wow.
the games which were not expected to win.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess this is all from the roster edition, NBA All Star roster edition, snubs and whatnot.
Yeah.
I guess you guys enjoy
Predictions,
it. You guys have
predictions,
fun.
guys. Who's
Yeah.
going to win between the teams and why is it the West?
It should be by how many points? 20,
Yeah.
30,
How many
40?
40?
points? Also.
40?
It's not going to happen because you know that new
Yeah.
rule that has come into picture. You know that 21-point gap wala faltu ka cheez.
What 21 point?
What is that rule?
वो
I'm
कुछ है
not
ना
aware.
कि वो कुछ है ना कि 20 पिछले it also happened last year ना कि fourth quarter तक whatever it is they play
No,
another
no.
game.
I don't think we're doing that anymore.
No, I don't think that rule is there.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. That Elam ending वो सब नहीं होने वाला इस बार.
I hope it is not happening.
It's gonna be 4 quarters of 12 minutes each. That's it.
But I still feel I wish that West thrashed the East by 30-40 points, but it's only gonna be 10 or 12 points because these guys
Yeah.
don't want to get injured, so they're gonna give each other a fair chance to shoot.
Yes.
As it is, the All-Star games are not exactly competitive. The only All-Star game which I could say was competitive was that first game where everyone was playing defense in the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter because
That
it
was
was because
2021,
very close game.
Right.
2020, I guess. It was one of those earlier games of the East versus West.
Oh, okay. You're talking about like long back then. Okay.
Right.
Kobe and Michael Jordan were at it at like 2004, 2003.
No.
That-
It was the early stages of these NBA drafting. I think it was the second or the third game where
Okay.
where like you win 3 quarters and then the fourth quarter you have to score 24 points or something like that.
That was
Whoever reaches.
that was when Kobe like passed away, right? So they started
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
that year. That
Yeah, it was that year only in 2020. That game was very competitive because the last 5 minutes they play proper defense and all that shit. So
I mean, Kyle Lowry took a charge as well in that game. I remember.
he is meant for taking charges. Look at that ass. He always bounces when he falls on the floor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, I mean Harry, basically put it right in terms of it's going to be a close game. Both teams obviously will not play in defense and they'll try to
I
keep
think
it
it's
close
gonna
for
be
the fans as
one-sided.
well.
I
So,
think
wanted to be.
one-sided.
I wanted
It
to
is
be
going to be.
one-sided.
It is going to be one-sided.
Okay,
The
guys,
sheer-
we also want you to just predict the score line, put it in the comment section, so that we get to know who's right and who's wrong. And like the previous time, like my team won against these two's roster, so it's gonna happen again. That I want it to be a one-side affair, but it won't happen. So just put it
Yeah.
over there. And these all stars, you should do that. Just 8 or 10 points gap should be there between the teams.
it's going to be close because the teams don't want to get embarrassed as well,
Right.
and the fans also they're going to notice the fans. They don't want the fans to watch a one-sided game, so
Right.
it's going to be like West going up by 10 points towards the end of the third, and then the East comes back in the fourth, makes it a close game,
So
and then there'll be some defense here or there for the last few minutes.
increase the
And-
viewership.
yeah.
Maza aa raha hai. The people trying to
then-
switch off their TVs suddenly put
Yeah.
it on.
Exactly. And by the way, who's your pick for MVP?
Tough question.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant or from here?
I'll go left.
Halliburton?
I'll go Luka. I'll go Luka.
Eh? Luka?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll go Luka.
Aniket, what about you?
Either Luka or Shea.
Wow.
Nice.
And if
I don't
anybody,
think LeBron, KD, and all these guys are going for the MVP.
you never know. This young guy, 21-year-old young guy, can do any damn shit.
I think he has enough on his plate to look
Yeah,
for an
I
All-Star
also-
MVP.
I think he's going to play like 15 minutes in that game or something.
Yeah, all at the same time talking to other players for trades and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like that.
Bro, you gotta come to LA, bro. I'm gonna go there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to LA, bro.
Yeah. Hey man.
Yeah.
No picks from East. Wow, no picks from East. I still
No,
feel
I don't
highly
see. Had Embiid
Halliburton
been
might have.
there, I would have seen Embiid with a fair shout. Had Embiid been there, but then Giannis is all vibes in the All Star game, and I don't. The only guy who'd play as competitively as I expect in the East is going to be Tatum. But then again, when it comes down to just the talent side of things, I don't see anyone from the East getting the MVP. So it has to be from the West. I'm pretty sure Luca will, because he needs that. Even if it is a small start, I think he needs that All Star MVP to just cement himself as one of the elites in the league. Whether or not people believe it or not, he is one
Right,
of the elites. But I think that MVP goes a long way in uh, pushing that narrative forward that he deserves to
right.
be counted as one of the elites. And also, if he's looking for a way out, just in case things go south in Dallas at the end of the season, that
Yeah,
also
Luca,
helps.
we are ready to take you over here. We can trade you for LeBron James. We don't mind that. We want a new point guard, a younger one. No offense to
LeBron's not
LeBron,
going. LeBron's not going to Dallas. Sorry.
the lads.
Yeah, LeBron ain't leaving LA, man. No way.
To
Are
do
you
that
sure
for
about
AD
that?
though. To do that for AD.
No, no, I'm
Yeah.
not doing it for AD.
So
No way.
you think Giannis is gonna come to LA? Because
I don't
that's
know who's
the
Luca
wanting
for
him.
only that.
AD. Luca for
No, no,
AD.
come on, no, come on, man. Every
I think
NBA
Luca with
championship,
AD will be
every
awesome.
every NBA championship, not every, 90% of the times NBA championship has been won by a point guard and a very good center who is supporting him. So AD has to be there in LA. We need to change the point guard, I guess.
Let's see what happens. Oh, we need to. Okay, I think once we are done with this, we need to talk about the trade deadline also towards the end of the week.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Yeah.
2 days time.
Let's see what are the trades that are happening, or what are the trades that will happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's it, guys. It was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed our a little bit of pissing each other off, especially the Lakers fan taking on this Cavs fan. He always is outnumbered over here, so
Uh,
we can't help you with that. That's your problem. Come to LA, change your team, and
no, that's not happening. Ref,
you
that's
will be
not.
on you will be on the same boat. Anyway, Aniket is feeling very sleepy. I would say good night to everyone. Bye bye, Tata. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm putting the banner downstairs. Go and hit a like button on the Instagram. Follow us over
Yes.
there, and also on Facebook.
Yes. Also, don't forget to press the bell icon, guys, or bad sex life for 10 years.
Yes, because this guy is a very big, what do we say, saint
My
over here,
jinxes
priest over
work.
here.
My
Oh yeah,
jinxes work.
yeah.